Hi guys, welcome back to another Overthrow Disc Golf form review. These go out to our patrons. So our $15 tier gets you into these form reviews if you submit form reviews with the proper instructions. So, and we've got we got a system there. So not just anybody can hop into these bad boys. But if you want to hop into the form reviews, that's how you do it. We just got back from Atlanta. It was a great time. Go ahead and put on some, pull up another tab and put on some music, maybe if you're jamming in the background here. So, oh, Brandon's here. Give me your Discord name, and we'll start with you. Yeah, let's see what else. Oh, I've had a lot of people asking me, hey, do you do private lessons? And, you know, this isn't like, oh, there's one person asking me, and now I'm going to say it's a lot of people to bring awareness to my private lessons. No, it's like people keep asking me, and I'm like, we've got the Patreon over here. Like, stop asking me, because I do it. So this is like, if you're looking for the private lessons, you need to go to our Patreon, which is in the link here, our Patreon. Let me give you an overview of the private lessons. Somebody's going to clip this so we can put it as a short, because I keep getting all these questions, and I just want to send them the link instead of having to type to a bunch of people every time. So here's how our private lessons work. You sign up via the Patreon. There's a welcome video. You get hit with the instructions like 3 times before you do it. We really have worked hard to make sure you know exactly what private lessons are, but I still get whacked with messages. So go to our Patreon, watch the welcome video, the overview video before you get through the paywall. It tells you all this stuff. So, but I'm going to tell you again. So you sign up via the Patreon. How do private lessons work? People send me a Google Drive link with their form side on if they want to work on form. Some people have mental game things. Some people have other stuff. Can you send me putting form? Yes, you can send me putting form. We can talk about putting. It's actually one of my favorite things to talk about because it's been such a struggle for me for so long. I really enjoy getting people out of the rut. So yeah, you'll have either a half hour, a 45-minute, or a 1-hour lesson. If you sign up for the 1-hour slot, you can get 2 half-hour slots instead. It will take you to where you can book into my calendar. All the instructions are there, and they hit you again like 3 times before you actually sign up to the lesson slot. So, but yeah, usually the structure of the lesson is, here's your form. Let's talk about what I'm seeing. Let me pull it into the software that we're using today. I draw lines, squigglies, tell you how it all works, and then we go through the drills and the concepts, and I'm really trying to get some reps in, even though they're virtual reps, trying to get some reps in with the things that you need to practice so that you walk away from the lesson knowing this is how I need to practice to fix my problem. So that's private lessons. Yeah. And Mikey brushing his teeth will be in the background of that clip. How long is turnaround from video submission? Well, if we're talking about private lessons, the private lessons is just when you schedule it. So it depends on how early you send me the stuff. Form reviews. We do form reviews twice a month. We try to do one in the middle of the month. Voila, we're here today, Friday the 13th. And then we try to do one at the end of the month. So the one at the end of the month is going to be the 31st this month. And I post all of that in the Discord. Once you get inside, it all makes sense. But it's we do batches. So I'm not sitting there one-offing form reviews because that would take a lot more time and it would become a lot more expensive. So all the systems and everything that we've set up is to streamline the process, is to make it so that I don't have to be like, man, this is taking so much time. Let me up my rate to $200 an hour, right? If it gets too complicated and too many people don't get through the process, smoothly, and like we go through and we check our process. It's one thing if our process is bad. It's another thing if it's just like people not following the instructions and I have to keep doing this stuff. Anyways, all that to say, our Patreon exists. Look there. All right. I've already had my water this morning, by the way. If you haven't had yours, grab some water. Now I'm on to my coffee. Did you know you're supposed to wait 2 hours after you wake up to drink coffee? Gets all the cortisol out of your system. Fun fact. All right, let's get moving. I've got a tournament to prep for today. Not my personal tournament, but one that I'm TDing. iPad. Let's see. Do you need your pencil?
Yes, I do. Always.
You do need it? Or are you saying you always have it?
I need it.
I know you have it. I'm asking if you actually need it.
I do.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
Use your fingy.
I've got it. I was just asking.
You're good.
0 to 92.
0 to 92,
Good
baby.
grief, Mikey. Okay, let's see here. Hey, love this. This seems like a small thing, but this position here, being correct, really solves a lot of issues. Let's see if he can get through this step and into the X step correctly. Small inaccuracy here. Dropping the hip into the X step. That's why your step's a little larger, by the way. An issue if it causes your hips to go too far backwards during the next step. Right? So we can look here and we can see this. Let me compare and show you. Choo, choo. During the X. Dakota. That's Randy's comment.
Hi, Randy. Dakota.
Dakota says, hi, Randy. You've been recognized by fame. Right. So let's see what happens here. Shoulder coil, absolutely amazing. You do a good job here. This is great shoulder coil. I'm back to this footwork piece, though. And you'll have to forgive me because I don't remember exactly what we talked about last time. But, great shoulder coil. Good stuff. Here's the issue right here. See how your toe comes up here and you like roll around that heel? Now there for sure are I'm gonna be listening to your conversation the whole time, especially if you're like whispering.
Sorry.
So, you know.
So we're done.
Okay.
That was it.
There are people who do this, i.e. Thomas Gilbert, the guy hucks a mile. And you can make it work. You get a decent ending position, by the way. But back to this footwork piece. I think this hip drop here, we want to eliminate that. So that this foot and hips don't get too turned around right here. So this doesn't seem like an intentional thing that you're doing here. It seems like a result of this. So I want to make sure that you're coming in this last step balanced is the big thing. Yeah, but your hips down here, and then watch this nice hip swing. Good hip swing, good shoulder swing. Your coil and your uncoil really is good. So I imagine that's what you've been working on. Let's just set up a little better. Oh, yep, stream is live.
It is.
There we go.
And apparently there's 38 notifications going off every time I post.
Yep, let me Oh, this thing isn't the one making the noise. Let me go into... There we go. Should be good. Oh, and my iPad is right here making that noise. Sorry, let me...
Exposed.
Oh, if I turn on Do Not Disturb on my phone, it will do the same on the iPad. So yeah, I'd start looking at this next. I could talk about a lot of things. Well, not a lot of things, but there are a couple things I could talk about. I would work on this position next, though, because it's going to affect the shoulders and how everything moves through here. So, just to be clear, satisfaction. When we come through here, I'd like to see this with this lead hip and lead shoulder up, right? And one way that I've been working with my students is this is like a balance concept as well. Like I can stay here like this, and in order to stay balanced with my X here, this shoulder and this hip are naturally going to kind of stay up. So I think it's a balance thing as well. That's Colby. Just so rudely walked in front of me. But here, you should be able to go and stay right here before this X step goes. If you're dropped in your hips here, you feel like it's just a matter of time before you need to step here. Right? So I'd like to see super control through here. And then if you're nice and low, forward. Getting through this X step. And now my hips haven't turned off so much, right? So it's really easy for me to get the hips further back, and you're real athletic, right? So you handle the position all right. But let's optimize a little bit. Yeah, the off arm is important because you're here. And the shoulder's still opening up a bit. Make sure, so since we talked about off arm last time, let me show you. When your off arm comes in with this kind of weight shift here, bring the off arm in into the weight shift. You have to turn it like this, so we can anchor and get it moving backwards. Right now, it's kind of like open like this, and you're still letting these shoulders travel. I'd like for it to stop a little more. Or in other words, you need to accelerate the right hand way faster out of the pocket so it beats the shoulders before they get here, right? The hand needs to be extended here to where you've got almost this like 10 o'clock position with the chest. I guess technically it's like 9:30 or something. But don't worry too hard about that. I want you here. Boom. Instead of here. All right. I can see the sunny side of your soul. Okay. I've been listening to so much surfaces. Yeah, the Beto drill is a lot about this. Is about the hand accelerating out of the chest, which is super important. So I haven't looked at it in a long time, but I understand the concept. So I'm pretty sure that's the concept that it's highlighting. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is right. I need to go into my form review stuff. Oops. I hope I remember. J. Okay, you're in here. Cool. Okay, second form review. It's going to be... what's our timestamp? 16 minutes. Choo. Oh, it's on his computer.
Okay.
It's making all that noise. Zach Powell. Thoughts of putting your offhand in your pocket while throwing to keep everything closed and coiled? Yeah, so there's levels of form, right? In the beginning, your offhand might be working against you, right? And then it's like, okay, well, I don't want it working against me, but getting from it working against you to working for you is a long journey. So sometimes when you're working, it's just good to be like, okay, I don't want it working. It's working against me. I don't want it working against me. So you just like put it in your pocket or put it in the side or whatever. And then you learn to do the motion better, right? But the full completed motion is going to be when it helps you, right? So there's not a right way to necessarily just cookie cutter say that everybody needs it working. Oh, it's not working for you? Let's get it working for you. It's like, no, let's get it to not work against you first. Sometimes that's the better route. Whoa, why does this look weird? Why is it? Oh, it's his video. Look how trippy this is. Because it's got like his video around the outside. Like this is, he screen recorded his on-form video, I think. So I'm looking at, am I looking at two on-forms? Oh, well, doesn't matter. It's tripping me out. It's ours. I'm looking right here and into this X step. I don't know if you guys see it. But there's this little move here to where it looks like he's going to start swinging this hip around. Like there's not enough mobility here. Huh? I lied. Not the issue. This is interesting here. Because usually when people do this, whoa, with the head, they're like bent over this way. Like falling forward, but he's managed to learn to be upright with that. Whoa. That's weird. I don't even know if I... Oh. What? No, it was our on form. Sorry. There's a lot of weird stuff happening right now. Okay, yeah. So, competing angles here. Yeah, leading with the head here for sure. Right. So we need to work through kind of this balance concept. Oh, it's super slow. Is that me? Yes, it is. Yeah, there's a balance, there's a swing to this thing that we're not getting. So I hope you guys caught all those arrows there. Sorry for my people who have this coasting on the background while they're meal prepping or working out or whatever. I didn't say very much there, but this is like leading with the head, basically. Right, it's here the whole time, and so when the head's here, we're dropping the shoulder the whole time. So we're going drop, 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 and now it doesn't let the hips swing because the shoulders are pushing down into them the whole time. What we want to do, this video is the up, up, down, up video, which is when we come forward with this right step, first we have to be loose, we have to be balanced. Balanced is here where the shoulders and the head play in between the frame of our legs, right? So if we're here, this is moving towards off balance. So watch yourself in a mirror as you do this, or I'm able to use the camera here. Step. This first step before the X step, if you're doing a 4-step walk up, is up, and the shoulders are up as well. The shoulders and the hips copy each other. The shoulder doesn't drop while the hip lifts, and the hip doesn't lift when the shoulder drops, right? And vice versa. All right, so the shoulder's not going to be up and the hip's going to be down. All right, it's just weird, off balance. So we want to go up, and now the shoulder and the hip are together, not here, not scrunching kind of this right side here. Some people have obliques in this part of their body. I just have a side, right? But here would be incorrect. So, and one easy way to do this is with the arms out straight. You can very, very clearly see what your shoulders are doing. My hip is up, so I'm up. During my cross step, I'm up. And now is when we coil down with both of them. Right? You see during this step that you actually don't coil your hip down. It's up when it's supposed to be down. Right here. It's up, 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 up. And then it just kind of like drops a little tiny bit. And so when you get to this final upswing, you don't get a huge upswing because, well, the hip's been up the whole time. And so it can only travel so far. So you're losing a lot of swing space here. And the space for the swing gives us room to accelerate. So when you go up, up through the cross, and now we load down. And then we swing up one more time at the end. So we have a nice upward swing with both the shoulders and the hips. Right? So that's what I would work on. And then the head obviously should be centered in the shoulders and not leaning over the whole time. Is there a correct... Let me get back to this thing. Is there a correct progression to work on in terms of footwork, front leg brace, shoulder coil, throwing arm, creating space, off arm, etc.? I don't believe so. But I take a very individual approach to each student. For me, my coaching philosophy is everybody brings in unique backgrounds and athletic experience, and most people don't start off from zero with their form, so you have to look and create a progression as you go through for that individual student. All right. Time for some tea, oolong. And we are at 26. Let's play it first this time. I should have done that the last time. Slow down. You gotta love a good field. You see here, there's a little bit of a drop hip here in reference to his left hip. Which puts his hips back towards us a little bit more than they should be. Big stretch, athletic guy. Gotta appreciate the hook face. Like that. So I think a macro concept is good here. Oh, what's up? You're here. It's perfect. Did you send us a side view, by the way? I know sometimes people send two, and we pull one of them. Well, Torbjorn, we got burned one time. We had a playlist that was copyright free, but it had a song in it that wasn't copyright free. So then we didn't get to monetize any of the stream. So we might just have to do the one playlist every time that we know is good. I'm just waiting on a response here. Okay. I'm trying to see, and this is tough. Like when you're back here and this wrist is flared out, it tends to keep your hand more or less in front of the disc during the pocket, but it's really hard from this angle for me to tell if that's an issue or not. So, but yeah, let's go with a macro concept here. I think basically we want to work on being closed at the hit. You see how forward your chest is by the time you hit here? Hey, by the way, our boy Simon Lizotte, get in the bag. I mean, he was probably already getting the bag, but you know. Boom. So here. You see where your shoulders are angled at the hit here? Kind of this way. Simon's are this way. Yeah, you can pull up your own music. That's a nice little cheat there. Put on what you like. Form reviews with some emo music in the background. Classical. Don't do classical. It's funny. I went to school for music education and I hate classical music now. Loathe it. I'm like, ugh. It gives me so many bad memories. So we want to be closed with the shoulders into the hit here, right? So in other words, if my target's over this way, I want to make sure that when we extend out, we talk about kind of this 10 o'clock position. That's a body position. That's not like a necessarily in reference to your line position, right? So if my shoulders come through here and this is 12 o'clock, well, my hand being extended would be 10 o'clock here. And it looks like this body position. So another way of saying 10 o'clock would be about 125 degrees between the chest and this angle here. Not 180, right? And not 90. It's about 125, right? So you've got a couple things going on here. And somebody had asked this question earlier about left arm, right? So part of the left arm's purpose is to come in here and to help us keep these shoulders closed, right? Somebody asked if you could put your hand in your pocket. For right now, I don't care which one you do. What I want is for your hand to accelerate out of the pocket here before we go whoop, and we pull the whole pocket forward, right? We don't want to pull the pocket forward. We want the pocket to be here, to be right here. The disc comes through the pocket and the pocket stays. Right, but when you pull your whole body forward, we pull the pocket with us. And now the disc has to wait for our body to get around here to here. It's very, very slow if we carry this whole thing with us. Basically, the disc is only moving it as fast as our back shoulder if we pull our shoulders open. So we want to make sure that when we come in here into the pocket, we accelerate the hand out of the pocket. And we hit in this position, not hit in this position where we pulled it all forward, right? And this is like huge, huge, huge because everything like this is where the speed is at in the throw. It's getting from here to here. This is where the explosiveness, how fast you can get from here to here determines how fast you can throw the disc. I've got like a running theory that if we looked at the data, and I'm sure people out there have it, I'm sure Chris Taylor has the data on this because he's done like a bunch of recording and stuff like that and analysis, but I bet from here to here, roughly the same for amateurs and pros, but from here to here, the pros are twice as fast. It's all about boom, here. Right? So when we walk up, we want to stay side on because the disc is going to travel again 2 lanes. If you haven't seen the video, watch the video. But The disc needs to come clean into the pocket. We want to make sure we're not turning too far backwards and getting the disc behind us. The disc has its own space to accelerate the whole time. From here to here is where the acceleration happens, not here, and we turn the whole body forward. It is a difficult motion, that's for sure. Right, leading with the head is very similar. It's like if the eyes go forward, you pull the pocket forward. If you pull the chest forward, you pull the pocket forward. If you lean over and then you try to rotate, like you're going to have to pull the pocket forward. There's so much. Chase asks, I know the feet should be offset in your last step, but is there any benefit to having your feet offset wider versus closer together? The principle is balance, and the feet offset because you coil. You should step forward and coil, which will offset your feet. The fan drill should help with not hitting too far forward, right? Yes, that is one. There are 2 drills on our channel that I think are super overlooked, and the Wind Waker or the fan drill are that, and the 2 lanes video. Those are the ones right there. Yes, Brandon, absolutely. I'm doing the thing again where I try to explain every little piece, and I don't need to do that. I need to go into what the problem is and how to fix it. So the legs are way too straight here. Which causes you to, you're off balance, and that's part of the legs being straight. And so now we're turning, you see this hip turn all the way back during the X step. If you're watching this and you have space to move, giddy up, partner. So try to do your walk up peg-legged, knees straight. You're going to see what happens there is during your X, you're going to swing this leg back, right? Because lack of knee bend. This foot now has to step back that way. We're too upright. Our knees aren't bent. The foot steps back this way. And now we're falling backwards into the next parts in order to get us to move towards the target, right? We know we want to move this way, right? And if you get in this, if you start this way, how are you going to move this way? You're just going to do this, right? So the key here is all in the beginning. Bend the knees, bent over. Your first step, we're balanced here. Here again, we prove balance during this cross step this way. You should be good to go here. There's no balance issue. I could do some kind of yoga pose. What is this? Peaceful tree. There. Right? And everything's staying here. You see in the frame that I have up now, you're leaning past your legs here, off balance. Balance comes from being centered. Right? And then we can be balanced as we move on this final step, right? Even though we can't like stop and prove our balance here, at some point it's going to fall, but I'm balanced, I'm in between the legs. right? This is super important to work through your walk-up balanced. I have my students prove their balance to me. So we start here, feet together. We go with this right step. They pause. We go, before we put this cross step down, we pause, proving my balance. Step, pause, prove the balance. Lift, pause, and then here you can't do, like you can't pause midair, but what you can do here is slide as we go here, as we coil on this final step during the load step. I'm still centered. Allows me to have a nice, quick and clean rotation instead of having to swing my body around, which is very slow. We're gonna go here, right? Then we get no, now the disc is behind us and we get no coil, right? So balance cannot be overstated here. Should my shoulders be facing the same direction as my hips at all times? No. Not directionally. Angle, if the right shoulder's up, the right hip should be up. If the left shoulder's up, the left hip should be up. So in that sense, yes, but in terms of angle, no. Just join Patreon and send you guys a video. Yes. Well, no. There are directions in the Patreon, because if there weren't special codes and stuff like that, you have to send us the email. There's like a code word and stuff like that, so that just plebeians off the street can't get in, you know? Got to protect those people that pay. So there is a little bit of a process to make sure that people aren't just coming in. Oh, no, guys. It would be about 10,000 times less distraction if you didn't whisper. Just talk normal.
I'm about to do some pull-ups. You're just gonna hang out.
You know, like when somebody wakes up in the morning. What is this? What? Somebody wakes up in the morning and they're like trying to quietly walk around. It's like, it's even worse. Now I'm more awake for sure. Well, vertical video. As is tradition, we must boo this man. But for real, if you send a horizontal video, it's way better. That is a hangboard. So right away, this like, there's some concern here for me that he's kind of already showing signs that he's gonna tilt forward here. So super similar to the last form review. Look where his weight is. It's towards his heel. Look how straight his knee is. Right? So, and consequently, downward position here. Right? This position usually results in a backwards X step, or walking backwards, where the hips, et voila. Right? Hips back, disc. So hips already back, shoulders already back, which means disc already back, which means that mid-stride here, he's going to be at full extension. Right? So this is where that that up, down, up video, this is what that was trying to explain. It's part of balance in making sure that we don't start kind of toppling forward here, because when we start toppling forward, then our body wants to catch, like wants our feet to turn around so that they're mobile enough to catch us. Yes. Yeah. So if we get here, now we're off balance and our body's going to want to go whoa, 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 and start shoving our feet behind us to catch our weight. So we really want, again, same thing as Hoon Bear. We need this bent. We need our weight over our toes. When I tell people, I'll give this from a little different perspective, so you can watch both Hoon Bear and yours. But I like to imagine that I'm peering over a cliff here, right? That my weight's forward like that, that I've got this bend at the waist, that I'm not upright, and with my weight sitting back towards my heels, going through this thing. It needs to be over it, athletic. And now I'm peering over this cliff the whole time, even into my coil, protecting this space over me, or sorry, under me here, into the hit, still over the cliff. It helps keep my shoulders closed. If I lift up here, now I'm not over the cliff anymore. I've stood up too early out of the shot. So yeah, from this direction, everything's here, over, athletic, boom. So let's keep it going. That looks like a ball golf stance. Mine? I hope so. It's similar. Oh, reach. Hello. Just wanted Dakota's stickers. This is Dakota's thing. He makes me coffee sometimes. Okay. 48. Bloop. See what we got. Balls of feet, slight bend at the waist, powerful quad. Yeah. Yep. Just nice athletic stance there. So crow hop. This crow hop is a compensation because in this position, like this hip is dropped here. Whoop. And now he's got the hip up, right? Oddly enough, you guys will see in the next Eric Oakley video that we talk about this very thing. But we want to make sure, check this out. Whoosh, the balance here. See how his head's outside of the frame of his feet here? Clarification. I love the crow hop. Dakota, you got another. Another fan.
Valley, I'm not paying attention.
He says, "Hey Coda, that's my Disc Golf Worlds buddy, Jesse." You met Jesse during Worlds, and you guys hung out apparently.
Oh, yeah. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Welcome.
He's obligated at this point in time to say that he remembers such a thing, or else feel awful as a human being.
That's fair. I do remember this though. Well, only 2 people talk to me at Worlds. The rest of them talk to you. In all fairness.
This position here. See where the foot's at and where the head's at? I think I've read somewhere people call this tipping. And I like it. I like the phrase. Big sprawl with the feet. It's just going to be tough. Yeah. To not have all this squeaking over. Yeah, you can tell that he's worked very hard. Okay. What's first? What's first? What's first? So there are 2 things that I think are very important. And you have got to pick one of these 2 things. I'm going to give them both to you. You pick one of these, you work on it, you write the other one down, you don't work on it. Okay? So, you must agree to that right now before I tell you the second thing. All right? If not, it's bad news for you. Okay? So you're going to pick one of these 2. You're going to work on one of these 2. So one you work on, one you write down, and you get it out of your brain. Pocket collapse. The wrist is tight. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what you're going to practice. 2 birds, 1 stone kind of deal. I want you to practice getting your athletic stance here, bent at the waist, knees bend toward the toes. So we're here. I want you to work on coiling. So nice backswing, keeping the wrist loose. Lots of space here. You've got lots of moving parts and you're putting in too much effort too early. Right, so I would pare it down to this as practice. I would remove the rest of it and then build backwards into like a 3-step and then eventually build backwards into a full walk-up if you want to do that. But here's what we're going to do. Here, bent. I want you to start here. Disc center chest with my left hand, with your left hand. Then come around the back of this disc about here. You can still see a little tiny sliver, but about here. Right, and now grip. It's going to get you nice wrist curl, and it's already got the space for the pocket. Right, this is about sternum or nipple height. Right, so start here. From here, I want you to work on this, keeping the chest closed, keeping the space over, and going out like this. I want you to work there into the hit from there. And then there will be a progression from here, okay, space out so you can feel what the hit feels like. This should be loose. This should all be loose, so you should feel the back of this disc here coming around and popping out towards the hit. You should be able to do this. That's how loose you should be, not this. Punching because this is all tight. Uncurling. So from there, and then in the same position with our tilt, into the backswing, into the backswing. Since we have this tilt and we coil these shoulders, we get nice space back here. Here, into the pocket, back into that same position. That's how it works. And then add the other stuff later, once you get that down. Christopher. I'm going to do Micah, then I'm going to do you. Randy, yeah, if you submit it anytime between now and the 30th, because on the 31st is the form review, so we want them sent in by the 30th, you'll get into the 31st form review, the form review of the 31st. This looks like pyramids, hole 3. I took this forehand line up the gut, like straight at it. I think Simon went around when we played. What a time playing pyramids with Simon when my form was totally under a huge rework and my putting was as bad as it ever was. And the sad thing is, the first 2 holes, I made my putts, and they were like long putts, and it was down from there, because then I couldn't, like, be like, yeah, I'm a bad putter, but I was. Anyways, we're getting over those yips. We're making most of our 20-footers now, which is amazing. Micah here is really good with the yo-yos. Here, so, lots of good stuff happening here, right? Good tilt, Niklas Antila Jr. The issue is actually, for this, where you're walking up. Right, you are walking up originally here, but now check this out. Now we're backwards with the hips, and so now we have a new walk-up line. When you turn your foot back like this, now you're telling your body, we're going this way. So I thought for a second maybe he's like actually trying to hit that left gap. But check this out. Footwork and hips aiming this way. Disc this way. So because of, yes, this is at pyramids, hole 3. Because of the way that you turned your hips back here, now you have to round. The disc has to come in here, and you got to go around to get over here. See right here? You have to pull it over on the line, which means you have to late release, which is very weak, right? On time release, strong release. So this is like a, this is, how do I tell that this is a form thing, or is this like a walk-up direction thing? And this is the whole idea behind the 2 lanes video. Like if you're trying to go inside, looks like you're throwing something slower there, like a mid. I don't remember how short this hole is. I don't feel like it's that short. But anyways, if you're throwing, you should be basically walking up. I need to get to where you're out of the way. Let me move you and here. Okay, so your body's out of the way here now. You should be walking up here directionally. Like you should be going towards that spot, or maybe even, depending on a few factors, here. Right? So every step of your walk up goes that direction. Right, so if I'm throwing towards you guys, with my initial line out of my hand, forget if the disc flips up or turns over, like where I want the disc to travel immediately out of my hand, the disc should be seeing that line the whole time, and I should be walking. Every step should be towards this line, the momentum of every step, right? So another way of saying about this X step, right step, left step, right step. This X step needs to go here, not here. I don't want to have my X step go around this foot and now give me a new direction here, because now, like we saw, disc behind us, we're going to collapse the pocket and pull it over here. Right? Instead, I want every step towards my line. Step, step, stepping towards the line, stepping towards the line. And this goes into the offset thing that somebody asked earlier. More offset, less offset. Coil, when you coil the shoulders, my primary purpose of this step is to put momentum forward into my line. Right? So I'm going to take this step and I'm going to take it forward, and while I coil, it's going to create some off step so you can see between my legs here. Right? But it's not an offset this way. Now I'm pulling momentum off of my target. We want disc to go fast. We put momentum forward. Right? Here, and now my disc can see the line the whole time. And more importantly, since the disc is out here, my elbow can stay away from my body the whole time. Here, here, here. So I don't collapse my pocket. Collapsing the pocket is when the elbow gets too close to the body, right? Which is really easy to do if I start fudging this line a little bit and now I'm over here. Well, if I want the disc to go this way, my elbow has to path across my body and it gets tighter as it comes here. Right? So walking, if you were playing that backhand line on that hole, you would need to walk from like the back, like middle leftish of the tee pad, and you would need to walk up to or you'd go like middle to middle left-ish, right? So that your disc is going towards that line. You know, when guys are like, let's pull in a straight line. Well, your disc should basically see that line the whole time. It arcs in and out, and there's movement within that, but it's got its lane over there. And now you can be powerful and have good body position and hit the line. But right now, your body's trying to hit the line. So it says screw form. You're walking up this way. I can't have good form because if I have good form, if you had good form here and you kept good body spacing, you would hit this tree. Because your out and out would go whoop. So that is how your walk up can screw up your form. And then watch the 2 lanes video. Krevgen, are you in my tournament this weekend, and is your last name begin with an L? There's so many of you out there that we forget which one is which one, you know. You do. It does help to have MVP discs on that course now, I heard. Funny story. My form was absolute crap, and I needed something flippy because I had just lost something flippy at Maple Hill. And on not that hole, but the next hole, I think, I shanked one so bad, and we were throwing so many shots with Simon. It was so bad that I just like left it because I didn't want to see Simon like see me walking that bad, like that out of the way to grab my disc. So I just left like a brand new Star Valkyrie there. Now I don't care as much, but then I was like, yeah, I'm not going back for that. Okay, Christopher. Oh, we've both got to slow down. We're doubling up. Doubling down. I really like how quiet the form is here. The first thing I usually work with people here, and like the biggest change you'll get, is loose wrist. This is one of those things where, like, if I run a master class or something like that and I see someone loose, I'm like, loose. We fixed that. We fixed their grip. They're like, holy cow. I'm throwing like 100 feet further, right? That this is almost the only time that happens is when someone's like really locked out of their wrist, or they have like a really tight grip and it's not good, like not a good distance grip. That's basically the only time where people add immediate distance. It's like, whoa, right? This tightness right here and not allowing the disc. Yeah, we're going to go with this issue here. Not allowing the disc to move freely. This upward disc position here, where we see the stamp, is not intrinsically a problem, but contextually it is, because we're tight. And now from here, when you have your hand up like this, it's very natural. It's very natural if your hand's up like this and there's tension here to go like this and to go, which turns into nose up. That's just natural from this position. Versus if you have it here, it's much more natural to roll up or keep it level. But yeah. You see how the disc is starting to flip up here? He's starting to roll his hand down because of the position that was in before. Very natural to roll it down, which means very natural to throw nose up. There's other stuff I could talk about for sure. But once you get this workout, send another form review because we can work on the next thing. But yeah, let's look at that. Because that's definitely the thing. Just keep it gold. Oh no. So loose. You should be able to do this. You should be able to, similar to last guy. Here's the pocket, right? Center chest, grabbing the backside of the disc. There's a little sliver here, but curled in the pocket like this. So I would get used to feeling this. The reason I start here is because I want people to feel this space and where it's at. This is the easiest way to just get people into the space. Right? You should be able to do this with a loose wrist, right? Not this. This is a locked wrist. And I can move my arm as fast as I want. Wrist is still locked. It needs to come in. When you have a disc, it needs to furl and unfurl, creating space here. Right? That is so much of the throw. Like if I fixed everything else in your form and you didn't fix this, you would never break 300. Just wouldn't do it. If the wrist is locked like this, it's just not going to happen. It's going to be a miracle throw in miracle conditions for you to break 300. All right, so this needs to be loose. And then, so we're loose here, similar to what I showed somebody earlier, which is hitting this out position here. So we go from here, we keep the chest here, and we go boom, out, and we extend the arm here. Not extend the arm here to where it's straight. It's not this. It's here and out, away from the chest. Usually what I'll have people do when I'm in person is I'll have them square up with me and do this. Right, this is the feeling, and then I'll have them offset a little bit, and that's really the feeling. Boom. So, but within that, so loose, and when you're back here, I want to see a little bit of the underside of the disc, a little bit of the underside because it's easier to be loose when we're pronated or when our palms a little bit down like this. I'm not asking you to do this, but a little bit down, so you see a little bit of the bottom of the disc come into the pocket. Bottom of the disc a little bit, and then we're going to roll our palm up as we go to the same hit. Boom. Here. And now we've got nose down. So the palm is a little bit down, and then the palm goes a little bit up. And this is how we can work our nose angle there. Right? So disc down a little bit, or palm down, palm up. Right? You just roll this sucker out of the pocket, or roll this sucker out of the pocket like that. And again, I cannot stress enough that once you get into the pocket here, you see how your eyes are already trying to turn forward. Keep your head down here and extend your arm out here, not here. Yeah, you would need all strikes. No, I will not give you a hint to the next thing because this is going to take a while. This will probably take a while to get. So spend the time. But you can also go back and watch what other people had for these form reviews. But I would do that first. Because this is all just pocket stuff, right? There's obviously things that lead up to that. Sorry, I must deny you this thing. It's really, really easy for me to just explain everything that's wrong. And then I turn into a whack-a-mole coach, which I hate. Which is my tendency. So I'll be like, okay, do this. And like, okay, now do this next. And it's like, no, we gotta, Josh, stop. We have to like focus on this and make sure they get this right a bunch of times. A forehand, yes. I love seeing forehands and I love seeing putts. I appreciate that you have obviously worked on this off arm. I'm acknowledging your work and your effort, and it is not in vain. So this is the motion that you're doing here. You're like dipping. I'll show you the motion for this arm. But do you see how your arm's up here? And then you go in the angle of your disc changes, and goes like this. Book, book. You see that? Now it's nose up, nose up, nose up. It's because of how your arm's moving. Obviously, the disc doesn't move on its own. It's attached to your body via the arm. Oh, why did I do that? So two things. The motion with the arm. Take your arm and go like this. Right. Now go like this. This is the motion with the arm. It's not this. It's this. Right? So if we get here, it's this is the basic motion with the arm. This way. Not this way. And I'm not saying your elbow has to be tight to your body the whole time. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's this. It's not this scoop motion where we're changing this the whole time. The disc can start up like this, but we get here and it's this motion with the arm. So that's thing one, is get to this motion here. This is a little bit what you do actually. This motion.
Yes.
Here. And it's got to be here. Now, once you're here and you've got this motion, we need to make, I want you to try to get your disc from back here to up here without moving your arm. So I just showed you this motion, but if you just do this motion, you will arm it all the way and you will destroy your arm. Right? So I want you to know that this is basically the range of motion and this is how the arm moves, but I want you to work on this here. That this is how the hips move. Man, this is hard on this floor with socks. But this is the motion here, not this pushing forward with the hips, collapsing low into the legs. It's this swing of the hips that happens. This right hip comes forward, this left hip comes backwards. And so the full motion is here and then here. I wonder if this works. I've got 5 left, but I need to use the restroom, so I'm going to try this screen here. I'm leaving the mic here. You guys can't come to the bathroom with me. Dakota, it's all yours. Pretty sure you can play Brawl Stars or something on the iPad. And
They don't want to see me play Brawl Stars. That would only go poorly.
it's okay. But I gotta use the restroom.
Question time with Dakota.
Yeah.
From back here.
Do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want, he said. The stream is mine. The channel is mine. Hello. Welcome to the Dakota channel. It's all mine. I'm just going to sit here while he's gone. Hi, everyone. If you like these stickers, my wife made them. They're very cute. And I think she's actually sold out of them, so you just have to watch and look. Look at that. Precious. What's up, Zach? Dakota Channel. That's it. It's time. It's my time. This is my long con. This will eventually just take the channel. What's up, Randy? Where can you get those stickers? Let me ask my wife. She might have some left, and if so, I'll point you to her website. But I don't know if she has any left. She made them. We used to work at a place that had a printer where our boss let us just print stickers when we wanted to. So she designed a bunch. She's a graphic designer. Yeah. If she does, I will probably message you on Discord with it. Because I probably won't get it. She's working right now, so she probably won't respond. Doge, yep. So yeah, our dream is to have a corgi. And so a lot of the stickers are corgi related. But yeah. They're cute. Oh, a sticker from, I don't know why I still have this one here from when I had a fishing Instagram that no one will ever find, except for the fact that I just showed a sticker about it. But yes, I feel that the Dakota Channel time is coming to an end as he approaches. Psyched for the Freedom Flex? Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be doing. I think I'm gonna be running most of the stuff on Saturday, and then Josh may be there Sunday. But it's gonna be a good time. Was I on the hangboard? No, no. You see me back there. I'm not on the hangboard. I don't want to break things. Someday maybe. I guess. My reign is over. Oh no, my reign's not over. I still have it. Dakota Channel /fishing. Yep, that's it. You found me. You found me out. I'm really good at getting doing stuff for 3 months, like it was with this the Instagram stuff, and then never doing it again. So that's why I do stuff for other people now. Let's see. Girlfriend loves corgis. Yes, they're the best. I think once we basically, as soon as we started dating, as soon as we were really in the committed part, super committed, we're gonna get married part of the dating, she was one thing, we have to get a corgi someday. I said, okay, easy, done. My reign is over. Farewell, people. I'm happy with the decisions I made and the people I fired.
Didi, get out of my laboratory. Okay. Okay. What happened here?
Nothing.
Yes. Flex start this weekend. Super experimental format. Probably from now on, the flex starts that I run are just going to be on Saturdays. Maybe try some on Fridays.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Robbie was saying that Iron City does some on Fridays, and they work.
Like Friday evenings or just Friday through the day?
I think Fridays through the day. But, yeah, I don't know how you could do it in the evening.
Well,
Depends on how late the sun's out, I guess. And you'd have to do it on a small.
that makes sense.
Of course. Okay. Okay, let's see. Timestamp is... Send it. I bet. Ooh, the slow-mo kicks in. Hmm. 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 Got the pinch going on. We bring it back to correct. That audio. What did I do? Did we miss it? Oh, epic. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is interesting. Oh, are you guys getting audio on the end of this? Can you hear like audio from his video? Oh. You guys are making me want to hear it. You know why it looks weird to me? Because he's so tall throughout all of this, and then he just shrinks right there. Tall, 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 tall. Now watch this. Wow. He just, like, look at how far his legs go from here being tall. And before his legs, like, even stride all the way. Look how short he gets. See what I'm saying here? So that's like a lot of energy that went and dropped. Which means less energy that's going this way. Right? Which, this could be misconstrued for sure. Yeah. So you see here, let me show you. So he's here. New height. Is here. Okay, that's not fair. Is here. And then into the hit is doof. Check this out. Okay, above the line a little bit. but he's quite level. Right, even when you see guys that are taller, change, and when I mean taller, I mean like taller on the legs. Here, like Philo. Let's check it out. See, Philo's a bit taller on the legs. But it's not like a huge variance. He's got the down and the downs and the ups in there because there is that swing that's happening, right? That up, up, down, up. But it's not like... It's not like, woo, I'm tall, and then whoa, I'm way down, and then woof, I'm here, right? We don't want to drop all that energy into it and then come back up a little bit. We want to stay more or less level throughout the throw. And even like Paul that you'll see with the big crow hop, he's very, very level because we're trying to glide and get the energy forward, right? And then within that, we have our hips and our shoulders swinging up and down, but it's not like our whole, like when our lead shoulder starts dropping, we go, boom, and now we're down, and now we're up, right? We kind of glide at the level. So if you take this thing behind me here, let me get close enough. There we go. Forced perspective, right? As I go, I'm going to take my height, and I'm going to start low and compact. And I want to be that height basically the whole throw. I don't want to be down, up like that. So you're level, you're compact the whole time, and you're gliding. So, and that makes it much more natural and athletic. The thing that threw me off when I first looked at this was like, whoa, something's weird, but the pieces are there. Like if we just look at the up, up, down, up, right? You can be up, up, but I'm like stretching taller, and now I'm not powerful and compact, right? So you can be up, and now my X is up, and now I'm down, right? And technically hitting all the things, but now I'm super low. And now I'm up again, and we don't want all that. We want to be level. And then within this framework, it's like a swing set, right? So we've got our feet, and then we've got the top of the swing set here. We don't want the swing set. We don't want the swing set coming off the ground at places, and we don't want the swing set like getting lower. And then within the frame of the swing set, we have the actual swing, which would be like our hips. All right, so balanced, the frame's always on the ground, and it's not getting taller. It's all within that same height, that free swing. So work on getting loaded into the legs, and you have to get loaded into the legs to make this work, right? If you're super tall, right, you try to drop. Now we've got some balance issues. Now we've got some variance in height, but we just want to glide through this. Level, smooth. Would that affect anything being even as opposed to more knee bent? You're going to have to retype that comment, brother. That kind of reminds me of the roller coaster thing Ace had talked about. I haven't seen that video, but I would not be surprised if we were saying similar things. That's the last of the coffee. So get lower in the legs, get a little more athletic. Yeah, you don't have to get, you see how your legs straighten out there? So you're like, okay, my legs are bent. Now my legs are straight. Straight, straight. And now they're going to be like really bent. You see your right knee? It should be basically bent the whole time you're going through. And then it kind of, on that final up, it might straighten out a bit more. But yeah, a little too tall the whole time, I think. There's stuff we could talk about eventually with being closed at the hip, like we talked about with other people. But I think for you, the biggest thing is like, get it natural. Delete. Oh. Delete. Can I get in the queue? Dundee on Discord. Dundee. I do not see Dundee. No results when I search my inbox. So, either you sent it to the wrong place, you didn't send it, or you sent it without following the instructions. Jack? Thaden, are you Jack J by chance? If so, I do have your stuff in here. Okay, so Mikey asked to have access to it this morning. All right, let me look. Did you send it to the correct inbox? Dundee, Dundee, Dundee. Oh, okay, let's see. Oh, I think you sent it to the other inbox, but it's okay. It's okay. Ask the owner for access or switch to an account with permission. I see. I'm requesting access from this email. So give me that access. And then just put in chat when you did, and I'll pull you in. Jack J, let's go, brother. What pro tournaments are you attending this year? I am not sure. Pro tournaments are really good for us seeing you guys. Yes, there are new instructions now, Kenny. We changed stuff, but I just requested access. So, yes, that's the email that you'll send future form reviews to. Which is okay, because this is the first time we're doing it under that email. We're just trying to streamline even better. What we got here? What do we have? You want it, you got it. That is an amazing feat of athleticism there. That the hip got backwards here, but you just like by sheer power of will force yourself to stay on the toe there. Good shoulder coil. I see what you're going for here. Don't let the pocket collapse. Right here, it starts like pulling up. And you start pulling with the shoulder here. So there's this move here. So learning to uncoil properly. So look at where your body's at now. It's like in between your feet, which is good. Watch this upper body start sliding forward, and you start pulling forward with the shoulder. See this? As you stand upright. You had this beautiful coil, beautiful tilt back here, and now you start pulling forward and standing up. See how much less bent you are here than here? Gets you into this position here. Where your head's like leaking forward. Hey, Rayla. So you've got this beautiful tilt back here. The fact that your arm's bent and it's a little bit behind you is not an issue because you've got space created away from the body with the tilt. So it's okay if it's bent. And if your arm's bent, it tends to get a little bit more behind you. Doesn't mean you don't have space. That's for everybody else, not you. Right? So you're here, all this beautiful space, bent over here. You need to make sure when you unload that you don't unload like this. Right? This isn't unloading, this is like shifting. So you come forward and you're standing up. You need to make sure that you stay bent here. Here, boom. And stay this way. Keep that nice same tilt that you have here. And that'll keep you from shifting this upper body forward like this and getting into this scrunch. Right? And losing that space. So this is very simple, but very, very important, like most things with good form. It's like this aspect is very simple. Maintain the tilt and learn to just uncoil like this. Not here, here. Yeah, and that'll help you because you can keep, once you stand up, you pull this into a nose up throw as well. And now it naturally wants to be more nose up. Then if you stay tilted the whole time, it'll stay. It's way easier to keep the nose angle down when you stay on plane. Like that. So. And you get that nice hip clearance. Very henna. Yeah, and for me, it's helpful if I think about making sure that like I have my spot here when I do this. So it's like more towards my right foot. But backswing, here I want to make sure that my eyes are on this right now, just because it forces me to stay over. And when I do that, I get this nice hip clearance. Sure. Or like sometimes I just do it here because it's easy to feel when you're like this. If you're starting to pinch stuff, because you're nice and compact here. The broom works as well. Just watching yourself in front of a mirror, having the head down the whole time. Coffee out, water in. The lefty Dundee. Pink. He likes pink discs. Who doesn't? Those guys with all blue discs in their bag. Hips moving backwards here during this step. See that? So now the hips are all the way back. And all this beautiful coil that you're trying to get proper coil, you see how we see your whole back here? That's probably because you need to feel the coil. Right? But Simon doesn't even have the shoulders turned this far for a 450-foot shot. Right? But the reason that you have to do that is because in order to get any kind of distance, you need coil. In other words, you need these shoulders to go past the hips. The issue is that your hips are too far back. So most people, their hips are here, and the shoulders coil here. Since your hips go here, your shoulders are coiling here, way too far behind you. So spraying and missing left and right. It's huge. Yeah, and check how large the stagger is because of it. And it all comes back to this step right here. Hips all the way back. You coil like you've obviously worked on coiling properly. Look, your hips aren't opening up or anything. If we could just get this X step to not turn you so far away from the target, you'll probably be in really good shape. And we know you're flexible because your eyes are like totally forward and your hips are totally backwards. It's 100% this step. What's the drill for this? Good question. There's not necessarily a drill. You just got to iron this sucker out. Right? So when you're ironing this out, one, you can't be so high on that front foot. If I did it as a lefty, you can't be so high on your left foot here. Dude, I don't know how you do that. You're way more flexible than me. I like popped this hip and gained like new flexibility that I hadn't had since, I mean, for sure high school. And now I'm like doing these motions and my hip's like, whoa, chill out, bro. This is newfound flexibility here. But yeah, here, and why don't you slide your foot forward until you can't slide it forward anymore. All right, bend in the left leg. Your weight's on your left here. And this is where you need to be. What you're doing is you're sliding this foot around like that. you're making a big semicircle with this foot instead of a sliding in a straight line. Right, so slide it in a straight line. And then plant it. And then do your amazing coil. So here, slide. So side view, ear, slide, not here, circle. Side step, cross behind. From this way. Here, and you're going to need to be bent in the legs to do it. Not here. Here. And then just make it happen every time. There's no like miracle cure for this. You're reaching back early, yeah, because look at this. Here's my arm. Here, I'll put my arm straight like this. Here, slide, now coil. Well, watch this. Not changing the spatial relation. Here, semicircle. Now I'm back. I didn't change anything, except I do this. This is why early reach backs happen. There. Similar deal here. Yeah. Again, the hip up will happen in the context of that slide. Let's start with the elbow higher. And the wrist loose. Then we need to eliminate this backward step. So elbow up here instead of here at the start. Let's create the space. You can definitely swing into the space eventually. So for example, we might start here and then we bring the elbow up. But for you, I'd recommend just starting with the elbow up. And we need to work on this. Let's just go to a 3-step. Let's start here sideways. Let's go side step, slide step, and then coil. And you notice that the disc stays over in its lane the whole time. So side step, slide step or X step, and now coil. And you can see the disc the whole time. Right, we're going to eliminate these first few steps as an issue here so we don't start like turning even with this step. So let's just go 3-step for now. Create our space, create our visual in the line. Here, here, here. And so just like the last person I work with pretty thoroughly on that X, here. Everything stays over here, these steps. And if you need to go even more simple and just go step, feet together, step, feet together, load, you can do that. Step, feet together, load, do that. We need to eliminate here, 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 because now there's no coil and the disc is behind us. So again, from this view, it would be here, here, and now you can't see my disc. Right, we need space for the disc to pass through. Here. And you can see how I'm eyeing the monitor here to make sure that that happens. This is the fundamental that we have to get down. We have to create the space, and this X step is the most fundamental part of the walk-up, making sure that it doesn't turn backwards. It's like this will screw everything else up if you don't get it right. So when I say it, it's like, oh, okay, you know, if you're out there thinking, oh, okay, it's just stop walking backwards, blah, blah, it's like, no, like this is super, super important. So you got to work it. If it takes you 2 months, it takes you 2 months. Hello, Minnesota. What's your pizza order? I mean, I'm a meat lovers kind of guy. I want all the meat. Give me all the carnage. So we need to work on, I would work on upper body mechanics here. This wrist looks tight to me. You see how the hand's leading the disc in the pocket here? Boom. There's this big swoopy kind of motion happening here. Everything's kind of twisting forward together, like see in the pocket here. Left shoulder continues going with the disc. Boop, 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 boop. So from the backswing, you need more space away from the body here. In other words, don't pull it up here. When we have our tilt, let's keep the disc out a little wider so the disc can be here the whole time. The other thing I'm telling you to do is when you get into the pocket, right, everything's come forwards together like this, and then we stop in the pocket and the hand goes. And so everything's kind of coming forward together, and then at this point, everything below the elbow needs to fire super quick past that. Right? We can't just continue everything going together the whole time, right? Because then nothing's fast. If nothing stops, the disc is only going as fast as like every other part of the body, right? So now the disc is only going as fast as my left hip, which is not very fast, or my right hip, which is not very fast, or my left shoulder, which is not very fast, right? If you think about how fast you could possibly turn, you'll never get a disc up to 70 miles an hour. Right, so at some point, and I'm telling you that's from the pocket, the hand needs to accelerate out past everything else. So you go boom here, and we don't just keep everything going. We actually, into the pocket, everything else basically stops. And the hand goes. So boom. Right, so that's a concept there. The other thing is your disc ends up coming up, and that's why being loose in the wrist is so important, because that's extra speed here versus here. Right, and you're here. This looks tight. Wrist looks tight. Get here, nice and loose. We should actually have the disc kind of down here. Kind of down here. Lots of space away from the body. When we uncoil, it's here. So, hand down. Bottom of the disc, top of the disc. So, you're bringing everything forward together. So practice like this. Back, just piecemeal it. Back, the disc is out. Boom, into the pocket, good to go. Accelerate. Accelerate. Here, not accelerate. It's accelerate with the hand. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning into the channel, brother. Last one. Oh. Go back. Two. Mm-hmm. This is a lot of space, so we'll see how much he brings into this walk up. Okay, he's not using it. Oh, it's just, I got you. That's cool. I was like, he does not probably need to use this much space. Either that, or he does need to, and he's absolutely amazing. You see how the weight's back here? It's like he wants to almost fall backwards at this point. And here you can see the upper body start pulling this way until he finally gets to this point. To where he's already over this front foot. He's like leaning over it. And watch. Full extension here. Disc coming out in this frame. See how far past that foot he is? Right, this is where balance and all that is really, really important to work on. Because as we learn to coil and uncoil, like every step, the principle of balance. Like if I told him stop right here, could he maintain his balance? Right, so here's how I'd practice if I were you. This will set you up for success. Every single step. So let's just start in the 3-step. Let's start sideways. Bent. In between. We want our weight to be forward and like in between these feet here. Right? Not backwards or like outside of the feet. Splayed like this, right? It's very inside. Like very, I'm receiving in volleyball or baseball or, you know, football, the hike or serve return. Your basic athletic stance here, right? And then as we move through, I want to see that you're balanced here, right? Because if we're inside, if our body's like really compact and tight here, if our upper body stays inside of the frame of our legs, I can really learn to uncoil very quickly within this frame. Right, but if I have to go, if I'm back here and I have to get from here to here, you can try that and have to uncoil along the way. Now I've got a very, if you look from the side, if I'm back here, now when I uncoil, it's all a very wide rotation. Right, but if I'm inside here, like this, when I uncoil, it's all very tight. It's all right here. It's all rotating right in this place right here, around kind of our center. Right, so being balanced here allows us to coil properly, which would be like this, not like this. Because if we get back like this, we're going to reach back too far, too early, etc. And now we're going to have to throw our body weight over. Here. It's all tight. It's all tight, right? And you can start here like this too, knees bent. Right. Back. That would be super tight. And I think even Loop Ghost has a video on that. Starting there. And then like slowly opening up. But the idea is you want to be center. Right? And the further your strides, the more energy you're trying to put into it, the faster you go, the longer your strides will be. Even more important to be centered. So slow it down, break it down to that point. And learn really, really good balance. So you don't have to get rid of the swooping later, and you have to get rid of the swooping later. You have to get rid of the early reach back. You got to do all these things, right? get bent over, athletic position. That's exactly how I'd practice it if I were you. And then I just add it, turn it into a 3-step later. All right, that's it, guys. I've got to go because I'm TDing a tournament this weekend. I've got to go make sure everything's good with the course. The courses, but specifically one course. Got to make sure everything's set up. So, and I got lessons this evening. A lot of work. Then I got to run the tournament tomorrow. Then I got lessons tomorrow night. So much work. I got tournament Sunday. No lessons Sunday night though. I'm resting. So yeah. Absolutely. You guys are the best. We've got Eric Oakley Part 2 coming out, which is going to be about his form, which is super good. Wasn't that first video so good? Eric. Gave us some. It was a fun little conversation. We could have stayed on conversation for 3 hours probably. At that point, but yeah. All right, guys. Peace out. Yo, give this little live stream if you haven't before you head out. Just click that thumbs up button. Just so people can get it on the rewatch. Appreciate you. Hope this helped. Bye.